Hello, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the Healing Truth channel. This is Wisdom Wednesdays. My name is LaFrance. I am a motivational speaker, healer, mentor, all that good stuff. I love uplifting, motivating, and things like that. I do thank you for tuning in to another one of my videos. Once again, I pray that this video is edifying, brings some edification. I got some incense going. I usually, this is my sandalwood. So sandalwood and frankincense is one of my favorite. Those are really good spiritual candles. I believe the Bible, for those of you who are, religious, frankincense is in the Bible as well. So hey, if you know, the Bible talks about spirituality, but that's a whole nother story for a whole different day, quoted by Dr. Mumby. Stories for other days. But yes, I have my sandalwood going, energy clearing, all that beautiful stuff. Today, I wanted to go over, like I stated, the video I did, I believe it was last Wednesday. I did the video on our women. A lot of us, when it comes to some of the things we've gone through in our lives, and I tried, like I stated before, I don't like to come across being judgmental in any of my videos. First, let me say, excuse my video. I'm filming from my laptop. I'm sitting in my living room. I'm comfortable. I don't feel like holding the camera, doing all that stuff, setting up, doing that. I just want to relax, do this video. I did film a video while I was out doing my walk today, but I just didn't care for it. So I came in, showered, relaxing. So I'm in my zone. I feel, this is how I want to present this video to you. I don't know if you recall me stating in my video prior to the one I did. It was in regards to the women, having children and the things that we go through as women in our lives. And, we don't think about the consequences until it's too late. And really focusing and understanding that some of the choices that we make, it affects when you're bringing children into the world, it's no longer about you. And this video is to bring awareness, especially to my Nubian men, my brothers, our African brothers, our black and brown brothers all over the world, especially, as Nubians. Nubians, I like to use the word Nubian now because to me, it feels authentic. It feels genuine. It feels real, as opposed to black. And I don't think, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with black, but black and white to me are colors. It's kind of like it programs us to see things in black and white, when that's not what life is about. We've lived our lives in a narrative of black and white everything. Black is bad, white is right, and we have to understand black and white is balance. So and it's a color. So we come in all colors. We come in a rainbow colors. Us Nubians and African Americans, Africans, we can make all type of colors. So that's a whole nother story. We're not going to go into that because that's not what my video is about. But I wanted to do this video in regards to my men. I said I was going to do a video on men because I didn't want to just come across as if I'm just all, saying all this about our women, because I don't do these videos to put anybody down, pass judgment, tell somebody what they should be doing with their lives. This is just to bring awareness and speak truth, because we have to start standing on the outside of ourselves and really looking in on our lives and our culture of people and the narrative and the stigma that's been placed on us, especially our black men. And it's unfortunate because we have too many of our young black children growing up with our fathers in the homes. And it's a lot of that going on, and we're not understanding why this is going on, because it's a generational thing. You have a lot of these brothers who are being forced to be fathers, no matter how grown they are. But we also have to understand there's woundedness within our black men. Our black men have much more pressure on them. Not saying our Nubians, our beautiful brown people, Nubian people, Nubian kings, gods, don't have goddesses don't have the same type of issues because we do, but we were built a certain way for a reason, and a lot of people don't like to acknowledge the fact how the woman is the creator. Everything comes from the woman. We don't, and I hate to say it, but we don't have to have a man within us to create. We're creators as goddesses. That's how we were made. But we do, our men were made for us. And this is not just a black and white thing. This, what I'm saying in general, is a human thing. This is how we were created as human beings, were we created for man and woman. And so women, this is what makes us strong. And and it's so much put on us as, especially with black women. Women, they just think they got to be all this strong black woman thing, the strong black woman, and it's unfortunate that it's talked about in a negative light, as opposed to being empowering, because a lot of women, this is a cultural, spiritual thing. A lot of us have been trained to be strong. It goes down the line in history when our husbands and the children of our fathers were ripped away from us and things like that. We had to learn how to survive and still be able to take care of children. It's made within us. We've been given that type of strength from the Creator. Have you ever noticed why most women end up being the ones taking care of the child, and the father can just pop it in you and keep it moving? And we have the strength, no matter what we're going through or what you're going through. You notice how strong you are to take care of multiple children and be able to still, you're struggling, you're stressed out, but you still do what you got to do because you're strong. That's how the Creator made you. And that saying, a lot of these men wouldn't be able to handle the things that women go through. Taking care of children by themselves, carrying a baby for 9 months, things like that. So you were created a certain way to be able to endure certain things. And that's what I wanted to go with that, because I'm not going to get into that. I just wanted to put that because that's going to go with what I'm about to talk about when it comes to our men. And this is not to put our men on like they just, exempt, because that's not the case. But we got to understand how powerful we are as women and why we're able to do much more when it comes to being the provider for our children. I'm not talking about the household. I'm talking about for our children, the things we're nurtured by nature. So we're automatically, it's in our spirit to automatically kick into motherhood. Automatically know, okay, you'd rarely find a lot of women just leaving their children unless there's addictions and things, mental illness, certain things that cause people to neglect their children, things like that. It's a lot of that out there too, but for the most part, I'm speaking on women who are for the most part left with taking care of the children while the fathers are not around, not involved, not helping raise the children, not there, any of that, and it's a beautiful thing to know how strong that you are. And I commend all these beautiful women out here doing their thing. No matter what you're struggling with, you can do it, and your children are going to always know that you're a mom. That I wanted to say. And it's a beautiful thing. And I send a lot of love and light to a lot of single moms out there really doing it, really taking care of their children, because you are strong. You're a goddess. You know, you're strong. You can do it. You were given the power to do it. So don't never hang your head down as a single mom, or even feel like, I'm doing this by myself. Nobody wants me. Yes, the right person that's going to love you is going to come with that right spirit, that's not going to worry about that, and it's going to love you and your children unconditionally and be that man that you need in your life. And sometimes we have to make sure that we are what we want. A lot of people, some folks sit up and say, well, you're not this and you're not that, but are you that for that person? Are you the person that your expectations are for? And that's a lot of things we have to self-observe, and I'm speaking on men and women, because I hear some man who don't have shit, excuse me, who don't have their stuff together. She wasn't the woman that I wanted, and I want. Okay, but were you I'm not trying to be mean, but don't have a pot to pee and window to throw it out of, no car, no job, no nothing, but you're saying that this woman wasn't up to yours, didn't be the woman that you wanted her to be. And she has, no matter what, whether she on Section 8, government assistance, don't matter. She got her own house. She's got a roof over her head, and she's taking care of her business with her kids and got a vehicle. Some of these men, to sit up and have these expectations for women, but are you that man that you want? You want certain things out of a woman, but are you that man? And these are the things that we have to think about. And same with women, it's vice versa. The door swings both ways. For women too, some of us who have these expectations, well, he needs to be this and he needs to be that. But what type of woman are you on the inside? What do you have going on within you? What do you have to bring to the table? These are things that we have to think about. And that was just that. But I'm not trying to go into that. I wanted to talk about my man for a minute, because like I stated on the last video I did about the ladies, but this is about the men. So when I spoke on that, this goes with what I wanted to say, because a lot of our men, and like I've stated before, we already have this stereotype of our black men who like to do nothing, who have a habit of just walking out of their children's lives, having babies, making babies all over the place, not being involved, just deadbeat dads. This is the stigma. And I'm saying this on some realness. And I'm not saying this because I feel that way about all my black men, because all my Nubians, my kings, my gods, I'm not saying this because of that. I don't feel that way, because there's a lot of great men out there who's doing their thing, no matter what they have, whether they have a car, don't have a car, whether they living with some whatever, but they go spend that time and make that time happen with their children. That's what it's about. And like I've stated before, as women, we have to understand, for the most part, a lot of us know who we laying down with. You know who you messing with. You know who you sleeping with. Unless you just, one night happens, whatever. Things like that happen. It happen all the time. But what I'm saying is, the way you present yourself and the things that we do, we have to take accountability, because a lot of the times we have expectations out of men who are broken just like we are broken, who didn't have fathers in their lives, who's struggling and battling their own demons, their own things that they're going through, insecurities. And like I've stated before, our black men have a lot on their plate when it comes to having to stand up to a certain image. Because I've spoken with some white people before, I had a conversation with some white people, and couple people back in the past, and even recently, because how you can just general conversation. It was a great conversation. It wasn't nothing racist or anything like that, but sometimes it's good to have these type of conversations with other race of people, because you need to know what people think about your people. And we were having a conversation, and it was somebody I was talking to. I'm not even, and it was just a conversation. It was like, yeah, because like a lot of them don't, and I, we were talking about I was talking about my young Nubian children, our African American children, our however you want to call it, little gods, goddesses, princesses, whatever you want to call it, our black and brown rainbow, Nubian people, brown people, us, our children, how a lot of them, the things that they go through. And it was like, yeah, and she literally said, yeah, because they don't have fathers in the home. I mean, I was just kind of like, so this is like really what other cultures think of our children, because where's the lie? We have so many young African American men, you know, um, just lost in all sorts of trouble. And it's unfortunate because a lot of the men that some women are sitting up having these babies by, and you get upset, you get frustrated, and you wondering, he ain't this, he ain't that. And a lot of the times, if 9 times out of 10, if you sit down with that man and have a conversation with him, I guarantee you, for the most part, he didn't have a father in his life. So it's a cycle of generation after generation that continues to go on. And it's kind of like, when are we as a people going to wake up and say, okay, we need to change the narrative of our people, because not all of our people are out here like that. But we're looked at in such a light, and I hate that my indigenous Nubian kings, gods, are out here being looked at in that light. You rarely, and we know there's so many more that's not out here like that, but it's kind of like a stereotype. They just like, with us women, Nubian women, African American women, we like to roll our necks and twerk, and we loud, we hard headed, we don't want to listen, things like that. Like, we have certain type of stigmas on us, and it's unfortunate, because no, not all Nubian women are like that. There's a lot of us that's not like that. So when we can come together as a collective of people to help change the narrative, it starts with us, to change this, especially our Nubian kings and queens. My thing is this, and I said I was going to do this video on my Nubian kings, because I feel like it's too many cases of women being left raising young men, young women without a father in the home, and then that young man grows up, go out there lost, broken. And see, we don't understand and realize the effect. See, a lot of the times it's thinking in a moment, like, oh, I don't know who the father is, or I'm just gonna go knock up this girl, knock up that woman, knock this one up, not have babies all over the country, and don't feel like you have to take accountability, get hit with child support. Some feel because they paying child support, that's all that's needed. At the end of the day, that's not. And when are we gonna really get to the point where we really start taking accountability for the poor choices we make when it comes to children? Like, people want to keep making it about, well, you don't know what I've been through, you can't judge me. At the end of the day, nah, people can't. But at the same time, when it comes to kids, you're going to get judged, especially when you're making poor choices. I'm not talking about the moms who are here made bad, we make mistakes. You have children, you still take care of your children, but you're not sitting up here to the point where you are constantly out here making the same bad choices, steady having children by various different individuals and struggling, putting yourself in a worse position, and all of these children end up having different dads. None of them know who their fathers is. We land up, laying up with some of these men who don't start that. who don't even want to take part in helping you raise your children. And we have to it's just with some of these men, like, we gotta get to. I'm the type of person like this. I don't feel like there's anything wrong if our men, our Nubian kings, want to go out here and have babies and make babies. If you can take care of them, why not? We supposed to, produce. That's what we're here for. We're here to procreate. Keep our lineage going, our DNA going, but do it the right way. It's not always about having to marry somebody either, because so many people are stuck on marriage. You need to marry somebody before. Not always, because a piece of paper don't mean nothing. You got people in all type of marriage contracts and miserable because it's not a connection. It's not that's a whole nother story. I ain't even gonna talk about that. That's another video. We not on that. But it's just about, if you're going to do things, do it the right way, in a healthy way, where you're not going to affect that child. Stop. Because that sounds nasty. Where it's not going to affect the child. Our brothers got to stop getting out here and just laying up, making babies, and then just dipping. And you get upset when you get hit with child support. And it shouldn't be. It's like, I don't know. I feel like this. Child support is so ghetto to me. I just think it's low, because it's kind of like you're putting a price on a child. There is no price for a child. It's within spending time, the connection, the bond, the soul, showing that baby love, being there in the presence. Money is not that money, and then the money that some of these guys are paying. Like, you can have some of these guys working, barely making anything. The mom getting $20. What is that for? That's not even gas money nowadays. Like, I feel like this is why it's so important for us to start being careful and start really caring about our people, to the point we change our own narrative. We can't expect people to look at us different if we're not moving different. We're still moving the same way. Yes, a lot of people have gone through things, traumatizing things in your lives. Okay, we understand that. None of us, a lot of people are dealt a bad hand. I was dealt a bad hand in my life, but I don't sit up and dwell on it and use that as an excuse to keep making bad choices. If we're smart enough to know that we're doing wrong, to me, I feel like this: do whatever you do when it comes to you, but when you bring another seed and you're out here creating these babies, and you're not being accountable, you're not taking accountability, then you want to get mad at the mom because she's hounding you for child support, but you weren't thinking about it when you were in the heat of the moment, and you're out here making babies. That's just out here being reckless. I mean, if you want to be reckless and jeopardize your own life, and hey, if I feel like this, go get a vasectomy. If you don't want to sit up and have babies, and some men, you can't control yourself, you just got to go out here and be unprotected, you don't care about STDs, but you care about having a child, then go get a vasectomy. That way the children don't suffer, because my heart is for the children. These children that's growing up broken, and it's like a generational thing. A lot of us women are connecting and getting in relationships, or not even that, just laying down with men. We don't really know what they got going on within themselves. Do you really know that this person is going to be a good father? Not all, some. And then when we have a baby, they ghost you, and you don't know why, because you haven't taken the time to really get to understand what's going on. Was his father there? Is his father there? These are things that carry on. And it comes a point in time we have to break the cycle. We can't keep sitting up making excuses when it comes to child after child. You have some women who are out here reckless, and some men who just out here don't care, reckless, irresponsible, just out here making babies all over the country and getting mad because these women are coming after you. Like I said, the Bible says what? Be fruitful and multiply. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, be responsible about it. And I feel like this too. It takes we gotta look out for each other, you know. And my thing too, like with some of us women, if you know the man that you had a baby by don't really have it like that, struggling, but he want to be there, let him be there. It's not always about money, because sometimes that's all the child wants. It's the parents that want the money. It ain't the child. The child don't know it until we train our children to think a certain way. The child ain't gonna sit up there no 5, 6 years old talk about, daddy, I want you to buy me this, unless it's instilled in their brain that that's all your dad is about, to give you money. Most of the time, most women, I know most women just want a break. That's just how I think. I think most of the time, a lot of these women who are doing it by themselves just want a break, because you men don't realize when you have that child, she's left responsible doing every single thing for that child. It's easy for men to bam and be ghosts. That's why it's always, in most cases, the mother ends up with the children doing everything. And it shouldn't be this way. There should always be some father there raising the children together. This is what we need in our community. Our race of people have to change this, because we have gone through so much brokenness and so much trauma that it's affected our people, and a lot of it goes all the way down our lineage. And things have changed, because way back in the day, for the most part, because I'm not gonna say it that goes down far like that, but it does start at a certain time. It started, and I think I would say once slavery hit, maybe, and then afterwards a little bit, and then I think it kind of stopped, but then I think it started back up within, I think I would say about maybe the 70s, 80s is when I think it really got bad for our people, because if you notice, like a lot of our parents at their age and things like that, a lot of parents have had like multiple children, and they were couples. There's like so many, there's like, I don't think it was that bad as it is now. And I think the media, I think there's been horrible influences to make our Nubian kings and gods look like it's all about just knocking her up, worried about a woman's behind. You got to look a certain way. It's just this ignorant image that's been put out there on us to make us think a certain way and lower our vibration, our thoughts, the way we move. You know, like it's all about getting the baddest. It's all about, having all these women, and but these men want to sit up here and have all these women, but then you up here having all these women with all these babies. And it's not about being responsible. It's not about standing apart. It's not about really understanding, dang, let me start making better choices in my life and do what's healthy for myself, so that I can be healthy for any child that I bring in this world. And this is what we need from our black men, our Nubian kings, gods, African Americans, our people, my brothers. Because I know it is a lot of brothers out there who are broken, who didn't grow up with fathers in the home, barely had mothers. Some mothers working so much, and some mothers just wasn't mothers. Let's just be real here. And they lost, and I think too, sometimes as women, we can expect so much out of these men that we lay down with, not realizing they need healing as well. They're probably going through the same thing you're going through. If you didn't have a father in the home, you got two unhealed people coming together, two broken people. And we wonder why so many of our men are running from responsibilities, because they're running from themselves. They're running from their problems, because who can they run to? When you haven't, I don't care how old you get, you having some type of mother figure, father figure. I talked about that in my video yesterday about having a father figure and mother figure. It's not always about the person that birthed you. It's about just having a mother figure or a father figure in your life to show you how to be a man, to show you how to be a woman. It balances out A young girl needs her father. A young girl needs her mother. A young man needs his father. A young man needs his mother. These are things, that's why we were created this way. That's why we fit like a puzzle. When we come together, man and woman fit like a puzzle. Why do you think we were created with the parts that we have? So we are connected to create one being. It's a connection, it's soul connection, spiritual connection. You're creating another spirit. You're creating a vessel so that the creator, so whatever spirit needs to come through that vessel, you're helping mold it. That's why we have so many broken souls and spirits, because people are not, there's a lot of children being raised without a father in the home, or single parents, just single parents. It has to come a time where it stops. If you're going to go out and have all these children, hey, do you just be there? Okay, I may not be, you may not be able to get all your kids there, but spend some time with them. Let them know that you're there. It's not always about, sometimes as women, we have to kind of understand situations and understand we've taken on this responsibility. You can't keep blaming and expecting a man to do something that's not in him. If he's taking that time to spend some type of time with them, give him that time with this child. You don't take that away from someone. You know, it's different if they put them in a harmful environment, abuse them, things like that. But if they're trying to spend some type of time with their children, sometimes some women can make it hard for men to the point where they make it hard on them. You know, we gotta meet in between so that we can grow together and build our people up so that we can get this shit off of us. So people can quit looking at us, not that we care, we shouldn't, but it's healthy. And it's unhealthy for other culture and races of people to think that most of our African American children are out here doing the things that they're doing because they don't have a father in the home. I mean, that's not a good look. It's very unhealthy, you know? But I just wanted to come through with this video on my Wisdom Wednesday. I don't like filming on my laptop. It just looks, the quality is horrible. It's horrible. And then it's getting dark out. I try to keep my window open. But thank you guys. I pray that this video was edifying. And this is just, I like to put these out here because I feel in order for us to really grow, we have to change the way we are moving, the way we live, and the way we're doing things. We can't stay stuck. We can't have a reprobated mindset, and we have to change our own narrative. We can't expect anybody else to change our narrative but us. It's our responsibility to start within our community, within inside of us. I understand a lot of people are going through a lot within themselves, and the last thing people need is to be judged. But we also have to learn how to start taking accountability for things and work on changing things when you are bringing a whole nother life into this world. It's not about you anymore. It's about the children. And once we can grasp that, because what we don't understand is that seed that you create is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it's going to get to the point where, dang, who is my parent, or who is my mom? Who is my dad? Why didn't I have them? And now I want to know who they are. Why weren't you there? Well, I went through this because I didn't have you there in my life. And then it's 20, 30, 40 years later, and you standing there looking crazy because you can't explain why you've been absent. And maybe that person, that child that was yours, could have been in a better position in their life if they felt like they had a dad, or if they felt like they had a mother. We have to think about these things. So thank you guys for tuning into my video. Remember, continue to love yourself no matter what. Stay positive and stay at the highest vibration as possible. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Peace, love, and light. And have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful night. And take advantage of this beautiful energy on this planet, because there's a lot of good energy going on.